The best grand final of 2022 and huge OG vitality and G2 transfer stories are what we have to talk to you about this week. My name is King Dems and this is HLTV Peek, the show where we keep you up to date with everything happening in Counter-Strike. Let's get into it. We kick things off this week with a recap of IEM Cologne 2022, the season-ending spectacle that brought to us many fascinating storylines. Mouse and Liquid made unlikely runs to the quarterfinals. Mouse through their excellent T-sides and sharing the fragging load between 4 of their 5 players, and Liquid via the performance of Yekindar, a stand-in that freed up Elige to produce the fragging numbers we know he is capable of. They were stopped by Astralis and Movistar riders respectively. BlameF and Config carrying Astralis with help from the much improved Zipnix, whilst Movistar riders relied on their Imperious CT sides and elite level performances from their AWPer Sunpires. However, the 2 best teams of 2022 so far, Na'Vi and FaZe, were not to be denied in Germany, and they brushed aside all challenges to set up the most hotly anticipated grand final matchup of the year, a game that both Perfecto and Karrigan said beforehand would decide the best team in the world. It was a back and forth spectacle in the final, with both teams fiercely battling it out for each map on offer. We saw spectacular performances from the plethora of stars on the server, a mind-blowing CT comeback that was stopped in overtime, and clutches aplenty in a series that lasted 7 hours, went to all 5 maps, and ended with FaZe coming out on top. In doing so, they secured the Katowice Major Cologne Triple Crown and solidified their status as the best team in the world going into the player break. Despite losing in the final, Simple still grabbed the HLTV and Bitskins MVP medal due to his consistent and stellar performances throughout the event. If you want to relive some of the magic of Cologne, make sure you check out the HLTV Confirmed episode that was recorded live in Cologne, and also head over to the event page to check out all of the articles, analysis and interviews that came out of the best event of the year so far. What did you guys think of IEM Cologne 2022? Next up, we have the transfer news, where there is a lot of small stories to talk to you about and 3 big ones. First up, Amanek is finally set to break free from the G2 bench, with him reportedly set to join the all-French LDLC roster. Zero, most famously of Hellraisers and more recently of Gamer Legion, is set to join Sinners, with them finally replacing Neofrag, who left the team to join OG in May. British organisation Coalesce have released their roster, which contained the likes of Emmy, Jaquinho and Sorcel, after only signing the team back in February. Wisla Krakow will be ceasing their esports operations entirely at the end of July. And Flusher and JW's Project Eyeballers unveiled Slap, previously of Young Ninjas, as their coach. Now, on to the big stories. Firstly, it was announced this week that degster had officially been transferred from Spirit to OG, confirming reports that had arisen earlier in the week. This move sees Mantu, the only remaining founding member from the OG squad that was put together in late 2019, on the bench, ending a 2.5-year stint on the active lineup. Degster had been left without a team following Spirit's run to top 4 at the previous major, citing a reluctance to relocate to Serbia, as well as adding that there were disagreements about how the team would function in-game. He stood in for OG during the Blast Premier Spring Finals in Lisbon and impressed with his 1.16 team leading event rating, his spectacular impact with the AWP on the way to a semi-finals run, and of course, his spectacularly powerful high fives. He joins fellow recent additions Fico and Neofrag, who were added to the team in May. The question we want to ask you is this: will degster be an upgrade on Mantu? Elsewhere, it was announced that Aleksib will be free to explore his options outside of G2, with that news coming not long after the team exited from the group stage of IEM Cologne. Just after that result, G2's CEO Carlos R announced that he would have lots of thinking to do about the CSGO roster, and this is the first move he has made to back up that promise. G2 had rebuilt their squad at the start of the year with the ambitious additions of m0NESY and Aleksib, and things started well at first with a run to the final of IEM Katowice in February. Since then, however, form has soured, with the team making group stage exits of ESL Pro League, the PGL Major Antwerp, and most recently IEM Cologne. So who do we think G2 will be getting in to replace Aleksib? And finally, misutaaa is on the chopping block for Vitality as they seek to kickstart their A-League super team that was put together at the start of the year. According to a report from French outlet 1pv.fr, ENCE's Israeli superstar Spinks is at the top of their shopping list. Vitality have made no secret of their difficulties adapting to an international roster, with both the Frenchmen and the Danes citing difficulties with the language barrier, as well as meshing their two differing styles. This has resulted in mostly group stage exits this year, with the short-lived exception being the run to the Blast Premier Spring Final in Lisbon. While Spinks is their preferred target, Vitality are open to other options as a transfer for ENCE's star may prove to be difficult. So would Spinks be the fix that Vitality need? And if they can't get him, who do we think they're going to go for? And in our final piece of news, 4 of the 8 teams for the ESL Challenger event in Melbourne are now confirmed. That tournament will be going ahead at the start of September. Entropic made it through the European qualifier, e.g. Party Astronauts through the American qualifier, and Wings Up and Vertix made it through the Asian and Oceanic qualifiers, respectively. 4 invited teams will be added to the event at a later date. And as a final exciting little piece of news, HLTV actually have a sticker up on the Steam Community Workshop. If you'd like to see that bad boy in-game and slap it on your favorite guns, make sure you head over to the link in the description and give it a like or whatever they make you do over on Steam. That is all from us here at HLTV Peek. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with everything happening in CSGO, head over to HLTV.org. We have a lot of content up from IEM Cologne, so if you want to check out some of that magic, please do head on over. And remember to repeat in a week for another episode. Until then, we'll see you next time.